We are back, my friends. Hello, brother. I wanted so you've been I know you've been following the whole Kyrie and Ye public whipping.
So I haven't been so in tune with the Kyrie side, but I've definitely been, you know, sticking my toe in the water of like the whole gay thing.
You feel me?
Shall we dialogue about it?
Yes, let's do it. This might trigger some folks, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
Kanye's not crazy. Let's just start there. Kanye's not crazy. And of course, I see where he's been infiltrated,
Yep.
but Kanye gives me someone that is so powerful beyond control. And we got to consider he's also a Gemini. So it's like, y'all might have thought y'all was controlling an aspect of Kanye, but he got so many other motherfuckers in there that are like probably like stepping up to dominate the control that people try to impose upon him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like just his whole relationship with like the Kardashians and just how he has existed, and um it just speaks to me in the way that he's just tired of the shit and he's just blowing the fucking whistle. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's just like saying it for what it is, and it's like he be in the second place, out of the second place, in the second place, out of the second place. But it's like I know it was this interview that Nicki Minaj did like a few years ago, at the height of the whole like Cardi B and her beef and when her album came out. But she made this comment. She was just like, "You can't get rid of me, bitch. Like, you
I'm
can't get rid of
here.
like you can't.
I'm
You
fucking
can't."
here, bro. It a lot. So I watch a lot of his interviews recently. The one on Drink Champs that outraged people. The thing with Kanye, he has to word things. He has to word things differently and explain it. A lot of the time, like when you just talking to somebody who understands, you just saying it from the perspective that you're looking at it from, and you don't feel like breaking it down so that the person can understand it.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations.
Mm.
Uh, and then it just supports what he said about it's panhandlers who control shit, and if
Yeah.
you step out of line, they're gonna shut you down. And this is a freaking prime example of what he was talking about. Um, especially in the corporate world. So we have this black organization, and we was talking about this, and they always like to bring up when he said that slavery was a choice, and they say that he's stupid for saying that, but I'm like, but he's not, because it is a choice.
Yeah.
You mentally keep yourself enslaved. You consciously, it's your free will to be on your phone for, let's just say, 17 hours. It is your choice to watch the news. It is your choice to scroll on TikTok, scroll on Twitter, scroll on Instagram.
It was motherfuckers was to get the COVID vaccine, regardless of the imposed restrictions that the world was like
You
that was
didn't.
that was the biggest fumble. But
That
I
was, and then look. You just told. Now, I get it. Some situation, let's say you're a mother and you got to take care of your kid and whatever. I'm
yeah,
understanding, very
sure.
understanding. But some situations, you just folded. You just folded. You just folded.
Yeah.
Right. So slavery is a choice. You chose to make this decision.
Mm.
Also, if you're looking at it from a slavery perspective, like back in the day, if like you were actually in a plantation, you could run away.
Yeah.
You might die, or something, but you could run away. So it is a choice.
Yeah.
And I think I just it's funny because it really, well, it's not funny. It's interesting because I like to observe and just like study people, and it triggers the collective victim narrative of the black race of just the oppressedness, and it triggers them so hard.
Yeah. Even still with that, it's just like the narrative just has to be rewritten. But can't be rewritten. Like, I think we're, or like progressive Black people are waiting on like this gigantic revolution of like all of us at one time. And I just don't think that shit is going to happen. And I say that because how can I free the next person when I'm in shackles? How can the next person free me if they're in shackles? I have to release myself from my own shackles first.
Facts.
And then just because I release myself from the shackles, okay, I'm still in the fucking holding place that I'm being held in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like so many different facets to break free of. And like, I think the narrative of like, oh, well, if Black people just all come together and if we all just do this, and how in the fuck are we gonna do that when we been like, it just don't make sense. So
It's a hypocrisy because we can say and do horrible shit to each other. That's fine. But something else happens, it's an uproar. But where's the same energy within the community?
yeah,
Like you shooting at each other, you're rapping about fucking somebody bitch, you rapping about you just stole somebody chain. And it's like, but if an outside um
let
race,
somebody be mad.
somebody else mess them, there's the hypocrisy.
Yeah,
You gotta keep the same fucking energy, bro. And then I think too, it all comes down everything just comes down to the fundamental idea of you create your reality. If we can just understand that core concept, then we can start breaking away the illusions that we were in for so long. That's just the core foundation. We can just get that.
that's it. And wow. So, and this is gonna like kind of transition into Abraham.
Ooh.
What you just said about us realizing that we create our own reality, I think a lot of us are continuing to um come back around to the realization of that fact. But I think, and this is just my theory, I mean, a lot of people have
Your
theories,
theory's true. It's your
but I
free
feel,
will.
I don't know, as an Aquarius, I have a lot of different theories that people may or may not resonate with.
Multi-realities you created, man, don't matter.
Yeah, I just feel like our status as people of color in this reality right now, it's meant to be, because I feel like that at a point in our existence, we were just the parents of the planet, and we still are. But at the same time, I feel like our like fall from grace, when they talk about the fall of man or the fall of like, I mean, it can mean multiple things, but I think in this context, or just what I've gathered from it, I feel like we fell from grace because of how we treated other extensions of ourselves, or i.e. white people, at whatever place. Like, I feel
Damn.
like wasn't treating them right, like, but they're still extensions of source energy. Um, but I feel like we probably had them like bossing their ass around, enslaving them and shit, and source energy was like, oh, y'all think y'all running shit. Oh, y'all think y'all in charge. Got it. Noted. Slavery.
You wanna know what's interesting? I had a
It's
me and
just
my
all.
homie me and my homie had a download about the black race collectively agreeing to experience the trauma and oppression, and then you transition from that to love and unity. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. That's fucking interesting.
Yeah. It's just it's a balancing act that I think that we're going through. And what Abraham said at the conference that I attended.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that, bro, because that shit is life changing, man. If anyone gets a chance to go check out the Abraham workshop, please. That shit is life changing.
Yeah, it's just like she said, we're at a tipping point.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a tipping point, just as a collective, not any one group of people or anyone who looks a certain way. Like our planet as we know it right now is at a vibrational shift.
Mm-hmm.
Are you upgrading with the planet or aren't you? That's really what it comes down to. Are you serving? Are you serving or are you not? Are you in the way or are you moving? Are
Mm,
you actively taking part of this renaissance that it is or aren't you? You know,
that's so true.
it
'Cause
just it is what it is, you know.
I had a, and I'm curious. Oh, you was talking about, oh shit. You was you was mentioning that it's people who go on the chair just to hear themselves talk kind of shit, and Abraham be calling about.
Yeah, let's talk. I like her. Love, love, love,
He'll
love.
do it so respectful, but it's like, bro, move, G.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but it's also as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So this was my best friend put me onto Abraham. She came down from Boston and we went to go sit in our hometown, Atlanta, Georgia.
Come on now, rep your shit.
Shout out to Atlanta, all the AT aliens. We went to go see Abraham in Atlanta last Sunday. It's been a week actually.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's been a week. Um, and so the energy was awesome. I felt like I was just and it smelled so good. It just smelled of like incense and Florida water and just a bunch of things. The conference got started, and of course, I wanted to be picked, but at the same time, I don't think I held that vibration of being picked, and I'll touch back on that moving forward. But yeah, man, some of the people who got, first of all, let me say, so many of our people got picked, like people who look like you and I,
Love it.
especially the Black women. It was a beautiful day for Black women at that Abraham conference. And just the way that they articulated themselves and wanted clarity on so many things that I wanted clarity on as well. It was like when you were talking about your experience, like my questions were answered by
Yep.
way of
Yep.
others who went before me.
It was pointless for me to go up there now because my question was already answered.
It was answered. And then there were those people who got up there who just wanted to be like, oh, Abraham, I've been following you for so many
This
months
is my
and
third trip.
this is my third one. And I am so just, oh my God. And Abraham's like, okay, very well. What's your question?
Right. Let's get to it.
Well, I just wanted to just talk about really that, like this one particular person was like, well, I don't want to talk about the past. And then she proceeded to talk about the past. She's like,
Ah,
I've been widowed 3 times, and my this, my that, my cancer, my
you ain't been paying attention to the teachings then if you, because I was shit.
oh. And one of the big things that Abraham was speaking about in that conference is like not to protest against things or not to like go to like why would you go into a space where people are protesting for shit that they don't want? Why
Mm.
go there and talk about what you don't want? That's the opposite of creating.
You're just fueling that reality even more.
Exactly. Why not instead advocate? When you advocate for something, you're speaking into existence what you do want.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a lot of people there just talking about the things that they don't want. Just really trying to dick ride infinite intelligence. And it just wasn't like this one lady, it was just a few people that was just like that got up there and it was just like a little like tweakish, like it just was giving very uncertainty. Like I just want to be up here because whatever. And Abraham literally asked someone like, okay, like what is your specific question? And then she said, well, I don't really have anything, specific. And then Abraham was like, okay, go sit your ass back down.
What was the point of you going up to
The lady literally after Abraham told her ass to sit back down was like, oh no, I got something like, and I would, as soon as she said that, I'm like looking at my best friend and the lady next to me. I'm like, she's trying to come up with something actively on the spot
Yeah.
to just stay in the limelight or whatever. And then, but nobody had to say anything about it after, like, her response after she said that she, had a question to ask was basically like, well, I don't want to work anymore. And then after like Abraham clarified all of, that mixed ass shit, Abraham was basically like, so in an attempt to stay up here, you know,
No.
forced a question that really didn't
No.
need rectifying type shit. And I was like, go sit your
Abraham is so real.
uh
Cause like, why are you wasting time? It's people who actually have questions, bro. Like, come on.
it's people who actually have questions, people who actually have some things that they really want to work through. Like, this is a workshop, not a get up and tell me how much you love Abraham workshop. They don't give a fuck about that.
Right. Let's get the most out of this experience to help people, and not you just take up time for it's you.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people, hmm, a lot of people are taking this Abraham thing as a religion. Like, a lot of people need
Mhm.
Abraham to tell them what the fuck to do. And Abraham is up there even saying, like, you don't need us to tell you what to do. You know what to do. Just tap in and do what you need to do.
Because it's just all they say the same shit. It's just a reminder, but
Yeah.
you have to practice the vibration and the thoughts and everything as a your everyday embodiment kind of shit. And if you need a reminder, yeah, listen to him. But it's not like, oh, praise Abraham.
Mm-mm. It's definitely not. And even in that regard, that same infinite intelligence that calls itself Abraham in this experience, it's available to Juan, it's available to Richard, it's available to
For
our,
everyone,
available to
you
everyone.
can tap in anytime.
I tapped into Abraham after the conference. Um, I was on some psychedelics with
Let's
some of my,
go. Let's go.
and I'll get it, but my husband was there, some of my friends, and we were just chopping it up or whatever. And it was two of my friends who didn't go to see Abraham like down there, but they're in or whatever. And so I just quieted my mind and did like that, just breathe, like how she channels it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like became like clear to me. And what spoke through me was that I know I didn't get picked because a lot of people, had I did get picked, I feel like a lot of people would have gravitated towards me.
Um,
And Abraham was basically just like, you didn't get picked because after you would have got picked, like, you would have been a celebrity. And we know that's not what you are wanting. And I don't
um,
at fucking all. Like, no. But at the same time, with the clarification that I got was that you didn't need to get picked because you already know that you know what you know. You know,
yep,
just focus on what you need to focus on and continue in your knowing. But
that's it.
it was more so of a thing of like, we wanted to pick you so very bad, but we also know that you didn't want what came with being picked.
Because like, think about it. To add to the message, it's source talking to source at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So y'all get lost in the conversation. People like, wow, what? This is different. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So it was so dope for me. I was like, but even with that being said, I'm like, damn, I did get picked. Like, I'm sitting here having a fully realized conversation with Source as I speak. It doesn't get any better than that. Like, fuck going up on stage. Like, this is the stage.
This is the stage.
But
Man.
yeah, overall though, Abraham, like I would totally do it again. Um, I definitely want to like go on one of the cruises one of these
One of
days.
two of my homies, Jasmine and Andy, they on a cruise right now.
Yeah, I
They
remember.
over in Europe.
I don't know what I think one of the guests that you brought on. I'm not sure if it's when you had your episode when you talked about Abraham, but one of your guests, and that's what got me to looking at it. Like as soon as you said you went to go see Abraham, I was like, wow, like so it's just that easy. Like it's not this.
Oh, you just fucking buy the damn ticket and freaking
Just
show up.
yeah. So, but I think that was it was a young lady that you had on the show that
Yeah,
day.
Jasmine. Yeah.
She said going on the cruise. So I'm glad that she made it now, and I hope that you're out there having an amazing time.
Shit different. But if anybody could travel out the US, please do it. You realize the US really ain't shit compared to like the beauties of the world. It's a giant island, but other places is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I have to. I will get outside of this space.
Bro, I tell people just buy a fucking passport. Just whatever your next splurge purchase is for yourself, let it be a passport. And once you do that and you staring at that thing, it's like I have to use it. It's like
yeah,
I just paid. Why did I buy this if I'm not going anywhere? So let's start planning.
yeah. I think yeah, and I always say every time I get like a large sum of money that I'm gonna get my passport.
Just do it.
Been getting those.
Just do
Some
it.
it just hasn't been up here to
Next sum, I want it to be in your head. Richard said, just get the passport.
passport.
Because when you staring at that motherfucker, when you stare at this bitch, you have to travel. You have
Yeah.
to. It's law. I have to use this. I have to get stamps. I have
Mm-hmm.
to travel the world. I have to experience different cultures. People are more friendlier outside the US.
Most definitely more natural.
More natural. It's not like especially when I be in England, it's not like, oh, you a black man. It's just like you're an American. Or if I see somebody, it's like, oh, you're Italian, or like you're from France or some. It's no like labels and identifications and shit like that.
Yeah. I know that's just a beautiful experience to not be under the stressors and scrutinies that human beings are subject to where we are,
Yep.
Africa.
I was going through a period where I didn't feel like creating my reality. I was on autopilot and I wanted to get to a point where I was like, the reality was just like, I'm not feeling this anymore. Inspired action, inspired things. And it made me think about how consciousness felt when it was like, I don't want to be the creator anymore. I'm gonna put myself under amnesia in this game, let myself forget, free roam. We'll come back when we're tired. If not being actively creating. I was like, damn, this how you feel, bro?
Yeah. I mean, and that experience does serve when it's, needed or whatever. But that shit get boring.
It
Especially
does, bro. It does.
that shit is boring. Like just having the ability to create what you want instead of just getting what comes to you.
Because you get a mixture of both, though, too.
Yeah, you do. I mean, either way, something's coming to you, but
Yeah,
is it
something.
something decided or is it something that was just by default?
Yeah. Because I like you look at people differently. Like some people, and when I say like NPC, I don't mean like the person doesn't have a soul, just like the person that's just a program from the matrix and they can wake up and become conscious, but at their current state, they're just unconscious. They're just asleep. So you know how to look at people and like, okay, you're reacting this way based off of this. I'm not gonna take you serious. I'm not gonna, react to you. Swerve. And like this having to always think like that in the reality is like, oh fuck, I just want to be ignorant sometimes.
Yeah. No, seriously, because the more you know, the more you're responsible for.
That's so true.
Seriously, so it's I have those moments where I'm just like, okay, like, uh, nah, I wish I didn't know this shit, or I wish I
Yeah,
did this, or like, fuck, because it's like when you know things, you can't just live your life the same way you were living them before you knew what you knew.
you have to be responsible though,
Gotta be responsible.
because ain't no excuses.
None. And that's what it means to be a creator. Like you're responsible for creation.
Damn, man, it's the life we chose.
Either be a fucking creator or take your ass back to the stable. That's what it is. Like there's plenty of sheep over there if you want to be over there with their ass. With their ass. But you know,
Hey, did you see the new Matrix movie?
yes, I did. And I want to rewatch it, but we can definitely get into that as well because
Definitely watch. I have to watch it twice because a lot of shit. It's a lot of information in it.
wow. Yeah, I have to rewatch it. I've only watched it once. But that that last one definitely gave me what you were just saying as far as like sometimes you want to be ignorant and like it's people who are just going to actively choose to be a part of the programming
Mm-hmm.
and we just have to let them play their part,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then there are going to be those who are within the programming that are conscious they're within the programming but are, you know, activating those around them to escape the programming, you know.
It was
So
that. It was that scene with the. I can't remember what his name was, but it was when the two. No, it was in a warehouse when he had froze Neo
mhm.
and the girl, and he was basically saying like they want to be sleep. They want to basically be controlled. They want to have certainty versus uncertainty.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. So you're giving people what they want.
Yeah. Basically, everybody gets what they want.
Crazy, crazy. And then this whole reality is insane. Because I don't exist. Richard does not exist. Whenever I die, I'll be forgotten eventually.
Mm.
But the contribution, that's why it's important. Like whatever you contribute to this, even if it's like a piece of knowledge or something, leave something that's impactful. So when you're gone, you can help the next players that incarnate here.
And that's why I'm so passionate about this teaching thing
Yeah, let's talk about that.
because I am on the leading edge with impacting those who are on the leading edge, which is, you know, my students.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one thing that I'm learning since becoming a teacher, I've only been a teacher, I have no prior experience. This is my first time in the classroom. Like the most experience I have with teaching is like tutoring, you know, people in college and stuff like that. Um, so I've been a teacher now for about 2 months now, almost 2.5 months, and I'm
Awesome.
sixth grade science.
Oh, that's
I
so
love
cool.
that I teach science because so much of science is spirituality, and I just feel like I can relate it to anything. Like the theme of my classroom, like you know how teachers be decorating their classroom and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The theme of my classroom is Avatar the Last Airbender. So I have
Oh,
like
I love it.
Water Tribe wall, which is like water's information, and then I have like my Earth Kingdom wall, and like Earth is like structure and discipline. So like I have my, you know, raise your hand before you talk kind of shit on that board.
Love that.
I have like my Fire Nation wall, my bulletin board, and that's like fire is passion, creativity. So I like showcase like student work on that wall. And then I have my air nomad wall, which is areas and intellect and things of that nature. So on my air nomad wall, I have my like vocabulary words that we might be using in class so we can speak like scientists and shit.
I
So,
love
but
it.
still like so much of what we learn in science, like you can relate all of that back to some type of something dealing with energy, spirituality, like whatever. Um, but it's been so my starting off, I was really overwhelmed by being a teacher, and I was like, ooh, like I have this thing that I learned about myself to where I run from myself and
Mm.
experiences that I'm meant to have, and I gotta stop doing that shit. So I was trying to run away from the classroom like my first week because I had this expectation of coming in and just I'm a perfectionist, so I wanted all of my shit to be right. And if it wasn't for like the support that I have at my school now, um, I would not still be here. Like I very candid with my principal, and he's like, Mr. Parker, like I know that you care. I love that you care. It's nobody here who doesn't think you're not doing a good job, but you're not gonna do what a 5 or 10 year teacher can do in 2 weeks.
Mm.
Like, just take it easy. Like, we're not expecting you to be at any level right now. Just get to know your children, form relationships with them, and ask for whatever you need.
Mm.
So once I let that battle go, it's or since I've let that battle go of being a perfectionist, at least within my classroom, um, I've just been able to relax and enjoy it a lot more. And my students, like I have 4 classes, and I have like 129 or 130 students in total.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a pretty big class sizes, but they are some of the dopest individuals I have ever experienced. They charge me up so much that my classes be put me in the vortex,
Crazy.
and they are so eager. I was listening to this video, a Abraham video, and it was like a message to teachers, and it was a teacher who went up in the hot seat to speak, basically talking about like the behavior of children, the frustrations where they're not eager to learn, and what Abraham is saying is that teachers are in this place of like, I'm the adult, I know everything, I'm older, and I have everything that you need to learn. So it comes from this place of I'm trying to assert what I know over students.
Mm-hmm.
That's not aligned teaching. Teaching is just supposed to be this facet of okay, I'm in alignment, you know, but what do you guys want to learn as students? What do y'all want to know about? Because everything I know, everything that I've learned, that's old news. That's already manifested.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are the leading edge.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it would teachers are really teaching from a place of powerlessness to where they have these standards and the things that like districts and you know people who are in charge of education say that we have to teach these certain things and teach these standards and grow students and all it's all about data and stuff, but it's like no, like one, they don't give a fuck about none of those things. Students want to be engaged and interested and intrigued. But basically, what I got out of that video in regards to me teaching is to really hone in on the students that are eager and interested, even if it's 1 or 2 students in the class out of 33. And if it's 1 or 2 that are like raising their hands, answering questions, well, I'm going to just focus my energy and attention on them. And eventually, that'll resonate with the rest of them, you know?
Yeah.
But it does me no justice, and it doesn't do anything for myself to sit there and try to force people to participate if they don't feel called to do so. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what you're not gonna do is, fuck with the rest of the class and disrupt the rest of the people who don't want to get it. I mean, who
Yeah.
want, like, I'm not gonna allow you to be disruptive, but you can just sit there and, do what you do or whatever, but just
Disrupt the energy.
don't disrupt the energy that we have going on. So yeah, man, teaching, it's a big responsibility. They need to pay teachers more. Um,
Facts. Big facts.
because it's so much that goes into teaching rather than just getting up, going over some PowerPoint slides. It's being a big brother. It's being the uncle, being the dad, being the mom, the grandma, the grandpa, giving them the attention that they don't get at home, um,
Mm.
to your pockets, and making sure they got Kleenex and shit in the classroom, or like my entire class, because I wanted them to be organized. I've always had a binder for like every single class since middle school with my dividers and tabs, because that's what the expectation of my teacher was. So I literally, like, I mean, I had a supply list, but a lot of them just didn't have the means to get a binder, paper, dividers, and stuff. So I literally, and this is where support and community comes in at, because I sent out an email to the teachers in my school, like, the one half binders that my students can use. I received more than enough like supplies for every single one of my students. So it's all of those things go into being a teacher that people don't see. And let's not even talk about putting in grades. They want you to build rapport with each of their parents. They want you to document stuff. Like, it's so much shit that goes into being a teacher. And you
Pay the
telling me,
teachers, man.
yeah, it's so much, man.
Pay the freaking teachers. Yeah, that is true. Cause y'all is you're literally the professors of the impressionable minds that's
Mhm.
gonna, impact and, be a part of the new world as they get older. Just like, hey, give me some, better benefits, cut me, more checks, look out for me now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, I'm just doing what I can. Like, I'm such a, I consider myself to be like a middle path person. Like, I'm not completely orthodox. I'm not completely disorderly. Like, I'm gonna do what I need to do in each moment to accomplish the goal. And so I take that into consideration when I'm teaching. Like, okay, like, I know y'all say we're supposed to do this, we're supposed to do that. But some days, we'll do a little bit of what we are told to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then after y'all do that, we're gonna go the fuck outside, because let's face it, they're 11 and 12-year-olds. Um, they still want to just be free and be out outside and have recess and just have time to talk and just be a person. So
Mm-hmm.
I incorporate those types of things into my classroom. One, to give myself a break, because niggas be tired.
I feel you, man.
Teachers are tired. And these students are tired too. Like, a lot of them are frustrated. A lot of them are
Having
coming
all
from,
that information in them nonstop.
yeah, like, it's an overload. So I just try to be that teacher that allows them to be at ease. Like, we still got work to do. Of course, we still got things that we have to study and look into, and I still have to teach, quote unquote. But after that is done, because they 11 and 12, like, they're not retaining all of this shit.
Yeah.
Look, anyway, now let's go have fun. Now that we done went through these PowerPoint slides, like, let's go outside and just
Move
just
your
be,
energy.
yeah.
Move your freaking energy. Brother, I always ask this last question to my guests. What would your message be to humanity during this time?
Wow. My message to humanity at this time, hmm, just focus in right now. Focus in. Focus in. There are so many different distractions and that are going on right now, and those are serving their purpose. But in that, find your way to focus in into yourself, just so clarity can come in. It will be focused in and stop running from your fucking power.
Mm,
Give up the chase because you're not gonna ever get away from it. Embrace. Embrace yourselves.
mm,
Mm,
that's deep. That's fucking deep. Brother,
yeah.
thank you for being on the show.
Wow. Thank you for having me again, Rich. I really appreciate it. And I just can't wait until we have another meeting like this. Happy fucking birthday, man. Uh,
Gratitude,
bless
gratitude.
to you and just really excited to be on the leading edge with you, man. Like I'm ready to be a witness to the things that you are pulling forth from your own creation. So thank you, man, and many blessings to you. Seriously.
Man, I appreciate you, brother, and all the same to you. Appreciate our friendship. Appreciate this energy that we created. Um, and let's just keep impacting the world.
Most definitely, man. I feel like, bro, we gotta see each other like one of these days. Like either like you can
It'll
come to
be
Carolina.
lit. That should be
I've only been to Chicago once. Like we can touch down in
it's
Atlanta.
getting it's getting cold. Let's touch base. Let's touch down in Atlanta, man. I don't want to subject you to this cold ass weather.
Let's do it. Seriously.
I'll be down for that. It'll be a good time. It'll be a fucking time. Oh, we should trip too. I'll be down to trip.
I'm a I'm gonna call you after this. I got some additional things I wanna tap you into that I get we didn't get to talk about today.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
tell you, I tell you what too. Let's
We
do
got
a we'll do a we'll talk outside, but let's do a part two. Well, this will be part three, I think. Part three.
yeah.
Soon, soon, soon. Touch
Yeah.
upon it.
We'll talk.
All right, big dog. Guys, thank you for listening. I realized last Sunday I gave you the wrong email. My email is Richard SundaySessions22 at gmail.com. That was some high shit last weekend. So forgive me. I love you guys. Hope you got some value in this episode. Let me know what you think, who you want on. If you want to be on, show me some love. Let me know who you are. Peace.
Peace.